This is GDRTV, I'm Dirky Dirk, and a tale of 3 melee. I'm so sorry if you're sick of melee. I'm gonna try to stop this for a little bit. It's just my favorite. So here's some 3 basic builds that you can try out, or not, or just flee from in the battlefield. Here's how I start in general. Now I'm gonna use the back cab. You can tell that because those frames are widely spaced. Back cab is just freaking amazing. I love it. So underneath I'm putting a Mark 1 Chameleon. There's the bat. Bloop. There's Tormentor. I highly recommend that if there's any epic you can get. Tormentor's really good for melee. And to go with that is a cheetah engine. Really helps the Tormentor and Chameleon. And here are the bores. Notice that they're attached to 2 frames and grills. So not easy to take off just by shooting out what they're attached to. And I usually armor that up if it's a higher power score. In this case, not so much. And if you want to try this out as a low power score thing, go right ahead and try some Lunatics parts. Actually, I would recommend some Nomad parts, because I like some HP on the melee. It's got some Dawn Children, it has some fire starters, so you might not have it. Try Nomads, totally fine. And I meant this build for just trying out melee. If you don't have the Sparkister, you kind of were thinking of it, you can always try out this thing just for the strategy, see if you like melee, if it suits you, go for this thing. It's really, really cool. Otherwise, if you are just starting out, you have the 3 bores, give it a shot. Just replace the cab, I guess don't have the Tormentor, that's fine. And it should be good enough, just to play with. Yeah, some Nomad parts over there should be totally fine. 3 bores is very, very doable. Don't have a Tormentor, try another bore. And buzzsaws too is really cool. I might actually try 2 bores on the outside, 2 buzzsaws on the inside. Not a bad combination. There, beauty. It's beauty. It's a beauty. So give this one a shot. If you're new to melee, you might like it, you might not, but at least you didn't invest in harvesters, so there you go. Alright, this one is one of my favorites for now. So there are the Bigfoots. Bigfoots are amazing because that means there's a lot of junk you can put underneath. That's why I'm addicted now to Bigfoots. And packing on some HP on the bottom, pure HP over there. And here's some grills where the harvester goes. Yep. And I'm also putting on here 2 Druzbas, you'll notice. Harvester is not amazing anymore, it's just not. But in this position it's very low, so it stops anyone from wedging me. And there is the Cerberus. That's really the only way to mount the Cerberus with the harvester. It's the best way anyway. Cannot be wedged in this thing. Totally matches with the Cerberus bore. The Druzbas all in the same spot. There is the Chameleon Mark 2. Bigfoots are great for shoving that underneath, and there is the Apollo right in the back, not too much of a problem. Tormentor and Cheetah, always recommend Cheetah. Here are some grills, I guess just to kind of protect the bump, hold up the bumper, protect some stuff. I probably don't need those grills on top, I probably could use some armor, but it's not perfect. And here's some more grills, where that goes the horns. Any melee really has to have these horns. They just kind of drag down the hovers and get them within munching range, so that's really all you need for hovers. Not quite all you need. Again, I have some more strategy tips about this, but don't just chase down hovers head on. They're just too maneuverable. But at least those horns can catch them. If you damage a hover, you're pretty much just safe to just kind of roll over them. Totally fine. Now here's the ingenious part of this, a rift with a bumper, because you probably know the one weakness of Cerberus is they can just shoot that borer, and that's going to just take away your health pool. So what I do, all I gotta do is put a rift and a bumper, and hopefully that's going to protect the borer until I need it. Now, then again, I'm just going to be cloaked anyway, so what I would just do is cloak, be invisible, and then when I hit them, bam, get rid of the rift and the bumper. So not get, but I mean, I guess just in case you get hit by a cannon shell on your approach, it can save something. And remember, folks, always remember your brake lights. I know it's the wasteland, but for safety, always let your folks know when you're braking. That's extremely important. Just another bumper. I really protect the Cerberus from all sides, because it is a light cabin and it's kind of weak that way. There you go. So here we are, and poof, there goes the rift. And now ready to munch. Yum, yum, yum. This thing is working really well. It's really fun to drive. I recommend it. And here's the usual donut shape I have for frames. This is going to be a solid one that I was making when I was considering trying out Clan Wars. Never actually did. So under here we have a lot of stuff. There's a rift, and there is the Apollo. There's a tormentor below, and a really good place to cram in your Chameleon Mark II. Since I have a rift, you know what I'm doing, right? You already know what I'm doing. There is the Howl cabin coming on. The one thing about the Howl cab, as I've mentioned, is it's got extremely low HP, but also has extremely low weight. It's got the HP and the weight of a light cabin. There's the spears. That's why Apollo has a spear, and then break the Apollo. There's a cheetah. So what I'm doing now with this Howl is I'm going to put on a lot of stocky HP stuff. So a lot of Steppenwolf's part that I could not put on with the Cerberus. I'm going to put on some really chunky armor here just to add on to that HP, and that totally more than makes up for the low HP of this cabin. Again, I'm liking Cerberus so much more nowadays. It does a lot more damage with the boar, but the Howl is really good for making a really solid high HP melee thing. I really do like a lot of HP in melee, because with melee you kind of get stuck. You go up against someone, you're grinding him, it might not work out for you. You may have to flee, and someone's shooting you from the back. So that's why I really do think it's really good to have some health on there, just to let you escape. I'm also really tempted, you know, an Aegis melee would be really, really cool. Of course I don't have an Aegis, but if you have one, give that one a try. That could be kind of cool. It could save your life. Of course I love those little Corvette brake lights. Kind of my favorite part of the whole game. And of course, ice cream cone on every build possible. And this one over here, this little bully thing, is not so good. It used to be a grill part, now it's just regular armor, so it's kind of garbage. I still keep it on, just for looks. And there are the horns. We are all set to go. Now I also put on a double harvester on the same chassis, so if you don't want the spears, double harvester is okay. It all seems to work. It all seems to be just as successful. There you go, bam, and there goes the Apollo. It's all the same. If I have bad games, it's because I play bad. If I have good games, it's pretty good. Now this. Okay, this was an atrocity. I don't know. Someone suggested that I get a spark that's undermounted. So this whole build is built around an undermounted spark in the front. I guess, in theory, it can get cap cans better, it can get turrets and drones better, and it is somewhat more protected. But the problem with that is, what else do I do on the bottom? I have the Druzbuzz on the bottom and either side of the spark, and so the harvester is above that, which means, unfortunately, I think whatever melee is on the bottom is going to be your primary melee. Usually you want the harvester to be the primary. The harvester doesn't do so a lot of damage, but it's really the hitbox, and it can really kind of scoop up the enemy, and that lines up all the rest of your melee in place. So in this case, the Druzbuzz do not make up for the harvester as being the primary melee. See, there's the front over there, and just doesn't quite seem to work. Can't line up both Druzbuzz and harvester the way I could in the other way. So yeah, this is a really, really bad build. So if you really hate melee, you're gonna love this. So here I am derping around, and enjoy, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'm pretty much done with my melee tirade. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to mix it up for you folks. So please hang in there, and I'll see you later. Okay, so I usually go here, but it turns out the entire enemy team is just waiting for me right now. Do I jump in and YOLO? No. I'm gonna cloak and get out of there. Wait for my team to catch up with me. With melee, don't be afraid of these mistakes. Don't just YOLO. Try to make up for it. Reposition. So much better than just losing the whole build, losing for your team. Just don't do it. Now I'm helping out this guy. I'm helping out the Sparkster because nobody likes Sparksters. Get rid of him. There you go. Ow. Now I have people shooting at me from two different angles. All I can do is back up. Not liking this, trying to sneak around. There's a Goliath. I actually go for a Goliath. Why? I could have gotten that guy instead. But, even though I'm taking hits from the back, it seemed to work out for me. That's why Jezebra is not a bad addition. They do a lot of damage. Can get rid of a Goliath, but now I'm just toast. Alright, this map. I'm going to tell you exactly why I hate this map with this little gameplay. Why I hate this so much is you pretty much have to do a brawl in the beginning, which I'm sure is not intended. But first of all, the bots tend to do the brawl thing. Secondly, if you win the brawl, you have a better chance of winning this game. Otherwise, if you try to cap, you're going to be all by yourself and just annihilated by whoever wins the brawl. So I figured nowadays it's best to actually do the brawl, try to stick with your team, whittle down the enemy. There's a nice hover right over there. Whoop! Oh, feels bad, man. Yep, always roll them over, but always be careful. Try not to have those cannons line up in your face. Whoa! Like that. I didn't hit those parts anyway. That guy's still dangerous. There you go. Hovers are very dangerous to just go head on. Always either cloak, hit it from the side, from the back. This is not a bad situation though. Now here's the problem. Now it's time to actually do the flag. Whoa, but we're not ready yet. We still have some major forces to contend with. And look at that cap. That cap is just going while we have the good fight. There you go. People complain about these harvesters. No one's complaining about Aegis hovers. Look how many of them there are. It's insane. Now, I'm not going to get him even though I want to. Look at that cap. This is my last chance and there's just no way in hell I'll ever get there. And that's how we lose. So yeah, if you're gonna remake any map, please remake this one.
Don't drop that Dirk, hey, don't drop that Dirk.